Hello and welcome everybody to the Money Mindset Manifesting Business Show. I am so excited to introduce this beautiful Katy Miller with us today. We are talking about integrating movement into your busy day to combat and protect against the negative effects of sitting. Oh my gosh, we know entrepreneurs, you are in front of your desk majority of the day. You don't have to be at a job from 8 to 5, to be sitting in front of your computer, to be typing. And I think this is such a powerful conversation that we're going to be having so that we can bring awareness to our bodies and not only our businesses. I love this so much. Katy, let me quickly read your bio. Katy is a holistic health coach specializing in reversing the harmful effects of sitting for long periods. During her time in the corporate world, she developed chronic back pain that often left her feeling unmotivated and no longer doing the things she loved in her spare time. She took a deep dive into healing her pain and learned key strategies that she now shares with her clients so that they can feel great and be motivated and live life to the fullest. I love this so much, Katy. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your time and your energy. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about this chronic back pain and all that. How did you even start thinking that you can heal it? Besides a chiropractor, right? That's where everyone goes. So besides all of that, tell us more about you.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for having me. So
Yeah.
it started off when I was working in my corporate job, and my boss decided that she was going to retire fairly early and go and enjoy her life, which
Wow.
meant that I took on a lot of responsibility very quickly.
Oh, wow.
I was working long hours and having to learn a lot. I enjoyed the process a lot, but through this, that's when I really started developing back pain. And I'm going to say that I was in my late 20s and I was lucky enough to receive this pain then. Um, that may not sound lucky to you, but I think it gave me plenty of time to be able to deal with that. And I was still young enough to kind of have time to explore different things. So I did start off attending chiropractor appointments, going to physios, and I found that a lot of things they would affect me in the short term, but the long term it just wouldn't last. I'd go to an appointment, feel great, but then be back to where I was again. Um, I then, in the end, I left my corporate job. It was too stressful. I didn't have enough time to kind of focus on kind of getting rid of that back pain.
Wow.
And I found a job that was much less pressure, less stress, and gave me time to explore different exercises. And I think across a period of about 5 years, I tried so many different things. Um,
Wow.
Many things worked, some things didn't work, and it was just a very good kind of process to learn about my body and what's good for it and really deep dive into back pain. And now I'm at the point where I know the things that are good. I understand more about how sitting affects the body, and I kind of want to share that with other people so they can firstly protect themselves about against getting back pain in the first place, and then for people that already are suffering from back pain, showing them that you can relieve those symptoms, you can reverse some of the damage that's done, and live a good life.
Yes. Yes, for sure. So you focus on giving people exercises to help them, right? So why would you say it is so important to do exercises on a daily basis and not just once a year when you want to get skinny for a wedding or something? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question. And so obviously there's some of the more obvious reasons. So it's good for your cardiovascular health. It boosts energy in the long term. Obviously, short term may take more energy, but it will boost your energy in the long term. It protects against many diseases. And also, it's great if you suffer from depression or any mood disorders, then that can really help with those. It can be a good technique. But I'm going to turn this around and say, what are the negative effects of not exercising on a regular basis? Um,
Lovely.
and sitting for long hours. Well, your musculoskeletal system really gets affected by this. Um, Areas that really get kind of hit by the sitting for long periods include your hip area, your legs. You may experience weakened glutes, weakened
Ah,
hamstrings, many muscles in your leg. Everyone's a bit different, but yeah, there's a lot of things that are affected. Your calves, even your feet strength may decrease.
what?
Yeah, there's so many things, and also sitting for long periods has been linked with insulin resistance, which is something we definitely want to avoid. This is something that can lead to type 2 diabetes, and then maybe a bit more obvious like weight gain from the lack of movement. And
Yeah.
why do we need to move every day? Our bodies are designed to move. So
Mm,
if we don't move every day and incorporate movement, then we lose it. And that's
yeah.
kind of a big topic that I'm into at the moment is aging and kind of protecting for our future. So
Yeah.
if you want to have a good body in your future when you retire and you want to be able to do the things you love, you've got to protect it now. And getting that daily movement is, that's the best way to do it.
It reminds me of the cavemen days. I think we were built to move. I mean, you'd either pick berries in the forest all day long or you were hunting for food, right? I think there was just constant activity. And modern day has just have people doing less and less and less and less. So like you said, we were built to move. You are meant to move. Um, and sitting all day, whether it's in front of the TV, slouching in front of the TV, because that's what people do. You sit for 8 hours at work and then you go home and you sit another few hours in front of the TV. So, sure, I can imagine it being a pandemic, really, really, if you don't pay attention to what's going on. And when you're old, you want to be able to get up off the floor after playing with your grandchild, right?
Exactly.
Right. Um, so what would you say would be the best form of exercise for a busy entrepreneur? Because you like on the go, you don't stop. I mean, you don't have hours really. After hours, if you can put in a few more hours, that's what you want to do. So what would you say would be the best form of exercise to incorporate?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think number one, it's an exercise that you can be consistent with. If you're
Ooh,
already exercising and that's part of your routine, then, that's great. Continue with that. You can add on to that. If you have limited movement and it's something you want to get into, if you're busy, I suggest picking something small, start with that, be consistent with it. Is it, do you go swimming on a Monday after work or after you've kind of done your tasks for the day? And then once you've done that for a few Mondays in a row, think, okay, can I add something else in? So it really is kind of simple. It's just being consistent and it doesn't matter what it is. At first, you just kind of you get it done and then you build upon that. The second
yes.
thing I would say is kind of you mentioned the caveman days when we were up and walking around, like picking berries. Actually, you don't necessarily need to go to the gym for a few hours every day. If you kind of sit all day and then go to the gym in the evening, you're actually still doing damage to your body. So, yeah, incorporating movement throughout the day, if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes here and there, then that is really good for you. There is a rule that I've seen, and it's the 30 and 5 rule, or I kind of say more realistically, the 30 and 2 rule. Basically, you do 30 minutes of sitting, and then you get up for 2 minutes. You can
Oh,
do like a short walk, some squats, anything you like.
yeah.
And 2 minutes is a good amount of time because usually it ends up being a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
um, it seems achievable, and studies have actually shown that that is a great way to protect against the negative effects of sitting. So really, you don't
Wow.
need to be signing up to very long gym programs or anything
Mm,
like that. If you want to build up to that, that's great, but be consistent and just think about how can I incorporate small amount of movements into my day.
yes. I was thinking now, a lot of entrepreneurs go through deadlines for certain things and launches, and you just want to put all your energy in. You don't want to get up and waste an hour or two, right? Especially if you go to a gym session, let's say it's an hour, you come back and then it's get dressed and showered and all the things, and you start late. When you got crunch time, would you say it is more beneficial to really put in extra exercise, or at least your daily exercise? Or would you say spend more time on that deadline? Like, what would be the most beneficial?
Yes, absolutely. And I've had many deadlines, and I know it's so tempting just to sit
Yeah,
down and just get it done and go
yeah,
through it. But I would actually say that being able to incorporate movement, and it may be hard at first, but once you kind of see the benefits of incorporating movement, then it should be easier to do. But having little breaks, even if it's like a 10, 20 minute break, it can really help because it gives your brain a break. So,
yeah,
you know, from taking that 20 minutes, you may get better focus and more energy to actually, achieve more in the time
yeah,
after doing that. So really, I think it's about finding the benefits. I probably wouldn't wait until I'm right at a deadline and think, great, I'm going to start a new exercise program.
no,
That would probably be a bit overwhelming, but
yeah, nervous system crash.
exactly.
Yeah.
But if you can kind of start, before you get to that deadline,
Mm,
incorporating things in, and then when it gets close to that deadline, making a conscious effort to really
mm,
still do those exercises, then it can really help. And I think you just got to be aware, like, am I achieving more or am I achieving the same through doing these
yeah.
exercises and still getting the benefits from them? And then
I
I,
love that. Yeah.
yeah,
So I
no,
love that, because if you are so used to doing an hour 3 times a week or whatever it is, and then you suddenly go into the guilt of, I am not doing it because I'm working so hard. I know my husband does this all the time. It's so nice to know I don't have to give it up completely. I can step away from my desk, do a couple of stretches, lunges, whatever it is, but a skipping, and really just re-energize your brain that way. I think that's such a lovely way of thinking of it. Instead of canning all of this, it's all or nothing. But instead of doing that, you continue to incorporate, and once your deadline, your crunch is gone, you just get back into the flow. I really love that. That's really cool. um so is this how you would say busy people would find the time to exercise? I feel like these two questions are almost similar. Like, to find the time, put a reminder on your phone every few minutes. Well, you say every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, that's a lot. Wow, to remember, especially when you're getting into things.
yeah. And that's definitely something that you should build up to. I don't recommend kind of setting your timer every 30 minutes and then
Okay,
going straight into that
okay,
because, yeah, that can be a bit overwhelming. But you could say, my morning for the next 2 or 3 hours, every 30 minutes, I'm going to get up. And
wow.
basically, you just want to train your body to naturally be like, oh, it's been 30 minutes. I'm going to get up
Yeah.
and move. And
Oh,
eventually it kind of gets to that. So that's kind of, yeah, that's a key thing to look out for. And I
yeah.
think another thing with exercise is you've got to think about prioritizing it as well. So if you
Mhm.
do have a jam-packed schedule, take a look at that schedule and think to yourself, okay, well, what is not as important as my health? Can I take that out of my schedule and replace that with, with my exercises? So
Wow.
it really is about prioritizing your health, and
Yes.
you know, some tasks may not be as important for this week. Can you put them off to another week as well? Um,
Mm. Lovely. It's so nice to think of these things and to become aware of your health more than anything, like really more than anything, right? um, you can have millions and millions, and if you're not healthy, it's just not going to help. It can make you comfortable, I suppose. So it's really so nice to think of that. I'm really enjoying that. I wanted to ask you, would there be a more is that the word? More important exercise. So, for example, weight training or aerobic exercises, swimming, yoga, like all those things. Would there be one that is more beneficial? That's the word. It's not important. More beneficial to especially female entrepreneurs. And then I suppose even of certain age, would that change your answer?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I would say, firstly, there's no exercise type that should be done alone. But my favorite type of exercise involves dynamic movement. And this involves stretching and strengthening at the same time. And this doesn't involve any weights. So this is my favorite type of exercise because you kind of get the benefits of stretching and strengthening at the same time. And they're exercises that are very easy to do for any age and all levels. So those are my absolute favorite ones. And then I think adding to that, for aerobic exercise, if you can get out and do a walk at a faster pace,
Mhm.
really that is such good exercise. You don't need to kind of run a marathon or
Yeah.
do a triathlon. If you like to
Mm.
do those things, absolutely great. But really, you can do more simple things. It's just find something aerobic that you like. And then lastly, strength. Strength training is important.
Okay.
It's, for bone health and muscle density, especially as you age.
Mm.
Um, so it's kind of you want a bit of everything, but finding things that you enjoy and then building a program around that is, I
Yeah.
think, kind of important. And then back to as you age, how do these needs change? So building strength is very important as
Okay.
you age, because as I said, you kind of lose muscle mass and bone density as you get older. So the younger you are, the more you want to be building that to protect yourself for the future. Um,
Right.
and then because of this, we have so many as women, we have so many hormonal changes, um,
Yep.
which, which I think we can all relate to. Um,
Yeah.
when you're younger, higher intensity exercises may be more appropriate, and then as you age, lower intensity exercises become more appropriate for you.
Mm.
Obviously, that's dependent on the individual, but I think during a CrossFit class, as you age, you have to kind of watch out that that's not kind of giving you negative effects because
Mm.
if you do the wrong type of exercise as you get older, that can actually increase stress within the body and your cortisol levels. So you do want to avoid that, but that's why I always say walking is such a great exercise because it's so accessible to everyone.
Absolutely.
You can be social, you can do it with your friends, and it is kind of very good for all ages.
Mm. Oh, that is so good. I feel so many people stress about exercise, especially when it's the new year and it's resolutions and have to exercise. And everything you're saying is not stressful at all. I just feel the calmness. I feel it's doable. And that's, I think, what wants people to actually go out and do it when it's not, I have to, right? It's not like this big thing. I'm not exercising to punish my body for eating the cake kind of thing. I'm doing it because I love it, because I chose what to do and how frequently. And I don't even have to always break a sweat. That's what it sounds like, which I love. That's great. I remember in the 80s, remember the aerobic queens, right? You had to sweat. So that's really nice. I love the calming energy around that. Um, Katie, I know that you have a lovely offer for everyone watching and listening. Tell us a little bit about when they click the link below under free offer, what are they getting from you today?
Yes. So as I previously said, dynamic stretches are one of my favorite things to do, and I would love to share that with everyone. So if you click the link below, then you can sign up to my private YouTube channel. And I have created some videos, especially for you to try out some of these and see how, firstly, easy it is just to get up and do 20 minutes of
Wow.
exercise. They will give you an energy boost and make you feel great. So, yeah, really excited to share these with you.
I love that. Clear the brain fog, get the blood flowing. That is really awesome. So anybody watching or listening, if you feel that you haven't exercised at all or you love exercising, tell us in the comments below what kind of exercise queen level are you, and go and grab those videos. I think it's a great start when you don't know where to start, or if you do know where to start and you want to include it in your day. I think it's fantastic. I know, Katy, you've also spoken about especially back pain. Like you really love helping people with back pain. And before we hit record, you were talking about your 8-week program. What does that involve? How do you help people through back pain specifically through in 8 weeks? Or like, is it only back pain? Is there more than? You tell us all the things.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, the goal of the 8-week program is to give you all the tools that you need to be able to relieve your back pain caused
Wow.
by sitting. Um, so it's a holistic approach. So looking at nutrition and then also looking, doing a deep dive on areas of your body that are affected by sitting, exercises that you can do to strengthen each area, and then
Oh,
also kind of building a program that is tailored specifically for you so you can, yeah, like start doing things and relieve your back pain. And then, my kind of principle is that once you've relieved your back pain and you got out of your chair, you're kind of unstoppable. So
wow.
it's, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's so true. I remember years ago, my husband had a bookkeeper and she was in constant pain, where she couldn't even go and do any exercise. So I wish something like this was available for her back in the day. It's so lovely. So if you really want to connect with Katy, her Instagram handles below. You can DM her, you can email her. Her email address is there as well. Reach out, chat to her. She can jump on a call with you, guide you through whatever it is you need. But I think a great place to start is clicking the link for that freebie that she's offering. I think it's going to be really awesome to go through those exercises and then come back and tell us what you think of those exercises. Has it helped? I'm sure you have to give yourself a little bit of time as well, as with everything. Don't expect it to work the first time. Give yourself a little bit of time. Oh, that was so lovely, Katy. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we say goodbye? Anything else you think the listeners and the watchers would love to hear?
Yeah. I mean, firstly, thanks very much for having me. And then just kind of like to finish that. I love, connecting with people, hearing about their stories, what their, what pain, what struggles that they are suffering with. So yeah, feel free to send me a message. Would love to connect with people. And again, thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. It was so lovely to connect to you. And I'm sure we'll be speaking again soon. We'll see each other in all the circles. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Everybody out there, believe in your magic. Lots of love. Until next time. Bye bye.